Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you basic Python syntax. At the end of this tutorial, you should be confident enough to progress with your Python knowledge. You should be able to start gradually to build a app using Python. So in this tutorial, I'll teach you the basic key function you need to know as a Python developer. With this function, you should be able to develop to improve your knowledge by moving from beginner stage gradually to advanced stage. So these are the basic of Python, the fundamental, the key functionality, the key functions you need to know as a Python developer. So let's get started. Firstly, you should download Python. If you look at my screen here, I've had the link where you can download Python. So I will leave the link on the comment below, so you can if you cannot access it, you can click on it to download Python. So here's the link. So I already have Python installed in my system. So all you need to do when you open this page here, if you are using a window, you can here's window, Mac, others. So this is as you can see, I'm using window. So here is where I can just click and download the latest Python. But if you are looking for a specific version of Python, there are others here. But I will suggest you just click on download Python here, which will obviously take you to the latest version of Python. So after I click on this, as you see, I already have it installed on my system. When you click on that, yeah, you can open it and complete the installation. So I'm not going to go through that because, as I said, I already have it installed in my system. So after you have installed Python, then there are different code editors. There are some code editors that you can use as a data scientist. There are code editors that are okay for probably for machine learning, like Google Colab and others. There are code editors for web developers. There are there are various type of code editors for Python to develop your Python. So in this tutorial, we will be using a Python inbuilt code editor. We will be using Python inbuilt code editor that known as IDLE, which is integrated developing learning environment. This is inbuilt Python code editor. So this is what we'll be using. So yeah, after you have installed your Python in your system, yeah, you can see you just come to the menu search, type Python. Yeah, you see it will be visible here in your system. So if it goes through here, you can see IDLE. This is the inbuilt Python editor. There are others like Visual Studio Code, but as a beginner, I will suggest you use the Python inbuilt code editor as a starter. So that is what we'll be using here for this tutorial. So what you do, you click on the code editor. Here you can see I have it open now on my system. So here you can code directly here. It's like it's a share where you can start coding right away. But if you need to compile your code and run it, then you will have to save your code. How do you do that? You open a file. Here you can easily write any program. Here you can write any program. Equals a plus b. Here you can write any program, compile it, then you save it before running it. So here I'm going to click run, then I have to save it first. I'll call it tests. So I'll decide to save it. Let me save it on my desktop. So I'll just save it in desktop. Click save. Here is save. That is it if you need to compile your code. But in this tutorial we are not doing that. As I said, let's get started. So firstly, yeah, as I was saying, anytime you want to exit the shell, just write exit. And you can exit anytime you want to exit the shell, just write exit. Here you go, we have exited the shell. So let's get started. So now that we have installed our Python and we know developing the code editor we'll be using, which is the IDLE. So let's start let's play around with our code editor, so we got the understanding of Python. So Python is Python is like it can run basic math calculation. Python can be form of a calculator, which you can use it to run some basic math calculation. For example, I can just say 5 plus 5 plus 4, 9. I can say 5 times 5, that's 25. Yeah, Python can run some basic math computation. So there are some functionality you need to know about Python. The plus sign Yes, so before we get started, let me show you some of the basic mathematics symbols you need to know. For example, if we are using the additional symbol, which is plus, which I have just implemented, we can use plus. For example, 5 plus 4 is equals to 9. So the symbol we use for multiplication is the hash. Is it hash? Sorry. Is the star. For example, 5 times 5, that's 25. The multiplication symbol is the star, why this is forward slash is the division symbol. For example, 25 divided by 5, it gives you 5. Yeah, so when we use the raised power symbol, we use for example 5, we use a double star. For example, 5 raised to the power 2, that's 25. So as we progress, I'll be teaching you more of those symbols that you need to know. So Python can also be used for subtraction. For example, 25 minus 5, 20. So you can see Python is a calculator. You know, it can play around with it and see how it works. It can do any form of mathematical calculation. Python can do all that for you. So how about writing names, your names and others? Let's move to that. So here, this is a command we use for command you can use for comment. Use this for comment. So maybe if you want to write something, you want to comment that is not part of the code. So use the hashtag. They write whatever you want to write. So use for comment. So in this tutorial, I'll be using that a lot to bring out a new header on what I'll be talking about. So that is what that is used for. So let's move on to a string. So as I said, how about if you want to write your name? That's where the string that's where the string comes up. So for example, I want to write my name. You have to use put it in quotes. For example, that is how it's done in Python. If you just write it like that without putting it in a quote, it's going to trigger error. So, for example, my name is in a small letter. How about I want to make it in capital? Yes, that can be done. How do you do that? Just write Frank dot yeah, you can see it. I've translated to capital. So that is how we do that. So how about we want to know the length? How about if you want to know the length of the letters? Yes, we can do that. How do we go about that? We can also check the length of the letter by using this word length five. That means the length of the length of my name is 5. You know. So yeah, all these are some primary the primary use of these are the primary use of Python. So you can play around and learn more of this. So another thing, as I've written, let me trigger an error so that you see what happened. What about I'm just writing length without I wrote Frank without any without putting any quote, it will trigger an error. You see, it will say it's not defined. Yeah, it would trigger an error. Why? Because I did not put it in a quote. So don't be don't be pulled down whenever you see these errors and it happens. whenever what you're doing, like maybe there's an error in what you're doing, so it will even flag the specific area that triggered the error. So yeah, and you give you the reason for the error, so then you can continue with it and correct it as it's supposed to be. Then you can continue with your code. So don't let that put you off whenever you see the error sign, because you will definitely see it often as a beginner. So that's about a string. So whenever letter alphabet, they are all, it should be in in this format. This is how you can write any alphabetical words, any alphabetical letter, your name or everything. So it should be in, we call this string. That's what it's called, string. So next, let's move further to variable. Variable. So variable is for temporary assignment. You can assign anything to a variable. It will be stored in the system. So I'm going to give you an example of that. For example, this variable name is name. I will assign my name. What am I doing here? I'm assigning this name is a variable. It can be anything, but I just call that name. What I'm using it to store my name. So it's called variable. Whatever you use to store an assignment, use it to store any form of information. It's called variable. So in this case, I'm using this to store my name. So let's see how it works. So name is equal to Frank. So whenever I type name, it will display Frank. What have I done? I've used name is a variable. I've assigned my name to that variable name. So whenever I type name, it will display my name. So variable can be anything. I can call it I can use car as variable. For example, I say car equals to Benz. So whenever I type car, it will display Benz. So that is a variable. So let's change this variable name. For example, let's change it to Juliet. Let's change it to Juliet. Name. You see now it have not changed from Frank to Juliet. So what does that mean? It's a temporary storage. So whatever you assign, it will overwrite the previous assignment and display the current one. That is what variable does. For example, we got a car, which is Benz. So I can decide to change car to Volvo. So when I now enter car, it's changed to Volvo. So it's a temporary assignment. That's what variable. That's what variable is used for. So another thing, you can like check like the length of. Let's change the length of a car. 5. If you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, these are how you can play around, work with variable. So yeah, let's go for that assignment. For example, I'm going to assign A equals to 4, B equals to 5, So A plus B, that's 9. So you see, so if I change the assignment, for example, I change A to 5. So what we have here, A plus B will now give you 10. So this is how variable works. This is how variable works. So let's try the print. Let's try the print function. Let's try the print function. So print is used, for example, I just wrote A plus B, right? Display. In another way around, I can want to assign this further. Like I can say C is equals to A plus B, print C. Same thing. It will display the value of C. Now I've assigned C. I've assigned the value of A plus B to C. Then print C. It will not display C. Same with, let me print name. It will show it will display name. So let me change that to name equals to Paul. Name equals to Paul. Name equals to Paul. Print name. Yeah, it have not changed to Paul. Yeah, so as you can see, letters are known as string, while numbers are integer. Like those numbers that we imputed or manipulated, these are integers. While the string have the quotes, those are called strings. So yeah, let's move further to let's look at the next, which is let's look at list. So list, for example, list, this is the symbol we use for list. That is for list. Because there are some kind of, you may have a sequence whereby you have multiple integer or numbers. You know, you probably you need to work with it, manipulate it. So you have to put it in a list so it can be able to manipulate it. It might be a series sequence of they have a similarity in one way or the other. It might be age. It might depends on whatever it can be. So in this case, I'm going to create a list. I'll create a list of age. Let me create a list of age. Age equals to 5, 15, 4, 12, 66, 7, 2, 10, this is a list. So print, yeah, you can see that. So we have created a list of age. So now let's play around. Let's manipulate this list and understand how it works. So what, for instance, we want to know the length of this list. How do we go about that? Just enter length age. You see, it give us the length of the list, which is a total of 9. If you count it manually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you count it manually, you find that the total is 9. So these are where you can use Python to manipulate. This is how we can use Python for manipulation. We can use it in any to use it to solve problem for us in any way. So let's, for example, this list, we want to sort this list in an orderly way, like kind of in an ascending way. So how do we do that? We said age dot sort print age. Now look at it. It's not sorted in ascending, in orderly way. You see, it's not sorted in orderly way. So these are where we can use Python, to make it work for us in different way. For use it to manipulate data to make it work for us. So how about if you want to let's use it to in a reverse order. Age dot reverse print age. Yeah, you cannot see it not give us the result in descending order, by using the reverse command. It not give us the result in descending order. So how about we want to add to this list? For example, let's add 25 to our list. How do we do that? We just easily how do we do that? We write age dot append. Let's say we added 25. Append 25. Print age. Yes, you see, we now have 25 here. 25 is here. We have appended. We have added 25 to our list. Yeah. So, what about if we want to remove from the list? How do we go about that? We use pop to remove from the list. For example, let's remove let's remove letter 7 from the list. Age. How do we do that? Age dot pop seven. Print age. So yeah, before we proceed, let's sort it back in order, so we can age print. Let's reverse it. Sorry, that was an error. Let's reverse it back to in ascending order. Yeah, so having in ascending order. So there's one thing we should know about programming. When counting, when we are counting, start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how we count in programming. So if you look at this now, starting from 2, 5, 7. So if you are counting, we start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we want to replace or remove anything, you start from 0. I count it forward. So for example, if you want to remove the fourth letter, the fourth number, that should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, we want to remove 10. So what do we do? Age dot pop the fourth number, which is 10. So print age. Now you find out that we have successfully removed 10 from the list. So these are way we can use Python to search and sort and this is how way we can use Python to solve problem for us. For example, we want to search for a particular number in our list. How do we do that? We just write print age. For example, we are looking for the fifth letter in the list. I just write 5. I look for the fifth letter in the list. This is how you write. This is the command you use to search for it. So let's say 15. So if you check it manually, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 15. So because this is easier now, because I'm using a set of lists which is not more than up to 10. In some cases, it might be up to like 100, 1,000. So how do you look for a specific number? It might be difficult for you. So this is how Python help you go through this loop through this your list and sort out the particular number you are looking for. So for example, we are looking for the first letter. For example, look for the first letter. How do we do that then? So you can say print age list 0, 2. You see, that's the first letter. So yeah, this is how we can play around, how we can use Python to produce results for us in various ways. So next, let's look at dictionary. Yeah, in this section we are looking at dictionary. Dictionary, the symbol for dictionary is a curly bracket. So the difference between dictionary and list is that in list we use index to check and manipulate the data, but in dictionary we use keys and value instead of index. So for instance, I'm going to write just for instance, this is a dictionary of this someone's dictionary with the person's basic informations. So I will say name, John, country, Spain, age, now I will use lucky. I'll use lucky numbers. Let me put it in this form, in this format. Lucky numbers. Let me put it in a list. 2, 4, 7. So let's now, instead of using index, we can use the key and value. For example, we want to search for the name in the diary. We can easily use print diary. Yeah, you can see we have printed the name. So instead of using index to locate the information inside the diary, we use the key. We use name as the key to locate it. The name is the key. The name is the key, and this is the value. Country, name, and Spain the value. So it's like that. For example, if you want to locate the country as well, print diary country. Excuse me. Print diary country. Sorry. There's an error there. Print diary yeah, you should be careful because if you look, this is in capital letter. One thing about Python, you have to be spelling is very sensitive. If it is if you start with capital, if you store the information with if first letter is capital, it ought to be capital. You know, so that's why trigger error now. I have to be the first letter have to be capital. So yeah, so country. Yeah, you see country Spain. So yeah, you see, we can use it to, you can search by using the key value. That is the difference between list and dictionary. And as well, we can as well, it can be changed as well. We can change to replace any of these key value, and it works as well when using a dictionary. You can change it just as we did with list. You can change the key at and the value at any time. For instance, we can change, for instance, I want to change the country. So, for instance, if I want to change the country, I can as well write diary country equals to let me change the country to England. So print you see the country have not changed to England. So that is how we use keys and value to manipulate information within dictionary. So yeah, let's move forward. So next, let's take a look at Boolean. Boolean is used for like true and false statement. So Boolean, we're going to look at comparing things. So yeah, with Python we can do this as well. How do we go about it? For example, we all know the greater than, the lesser than symbol. This is lesser than, this is greater than, this is equal to, this is not equal to. So let's use the Boolean. Let's use the true or false statement to see how we can. Let's play around with it. For example, 5 is equals to 2. That's true. So let's say 5. Let's say 2 is equals to. Sorry. 5 is greater than 2. That is true. So let's go further. 5 is lesser than 3. That is false. 2 is equal to 2. That is true. 4 is equal to 5. That is false. 5 is not equal to 4. That is true. 4 is equals to 4. That's true. So these are how we can use the true and false statement. For example, let's do something more advanced. For example, I can say let's do something more complex. Let's make a list. 1, 2, 3 is greater than length for is false. Yes, so these are way we can use the true and false Boolean. So for example, this another I'm going to teach you this as well. If you want to do like 5 is greater, this is greater and equal to, this is greater and equal to sign. 5 is greater than equal to 7. It fails. Then this is less than. This is less than and equal to 5. See, that's the lesser and equal to sign. So these are the true and false statement when using Python. So let's do some more complex one. Like for example, if I'm saying 6 is greater than 2, let's see how we can use the and or statement as well. For example, 6 is greater than 2 and 2 is lesser than 3. That's true. 6 is greater than 2 and 2 is lesser than 3. So let's try something else. 3 is greater than 2 and 2 is lesser than 2 is and 2 is lesser than 1. That is fails. So yeah, this is how we can use the true and false statement. Additionally, let's look at the assignment. For example, if you have A is equals to, let's look at how to assign a variable using the true and false statement. For example, we have A is equals to 2 greater than 5. Then let's print A is false because 2 is not greater than 5. So the result we give will check the result will be false. Let's, for example, let's use B. B is let's assign B is equals to 6 greater than 3. So let's print B. It's true because 6 is actually greater than 3. So this is how we can work with Boolean using true or false to check for information if it is true or false. Yeah, so that is how we can use the Python terminal shell to run programs. So in the next section, we will move a bit advanced way whereby we can use a compiler to run some program, like we said previously, where we can compile some programs, save it, and then run it. So we now use that to see how we can use more of the conditional statement, how we can use the if, elif, and else statement, and more, and some others functions. So let's progress to the next stage. So here, as I said, if you want to exit the shell, you can just write exit and click OK. Then you have exited the shell terminal. So let's progress to the next stage. Thank you for watching.